Hello, everybody. Hope all is well. Got a bit of rain happening out here, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of update from rural Nova Scotia. It's mid-May, and many things are full bloom. It's good to see. I had a chance to cut my grass on Friday. I only need another cutting. I went on it a little too late, but that's something I got done. I kept myself fairly busy this weekend, and of course, I gave myself a chance to rest as well as I should. So what here we call Victoria Long Weekend here in Canada, May Long Weekend, and I know the U.S. has a special weekend. I think next weekend, Memorial Day, which is very special for them. And everyone's looking forward to that. Wow, have many things happened since my last update. Wow, what can I say? AI is the buzzword where they make you feel that if you don't know something about it, you're incompetent or you're left behind somehow. Just absolutely amazing how they create this urgency as if something is going to take over your life and you're going to lose your job and you're going to be left behind, and goes on and on. And I just want to know what's behind it, you know? So I've been listening to some AI YouTube and listening to its function and how it works. And yeah, I've used Chat GPT and what's the other one? Deep something. And it's rather interesting. I haven't used it for any real function, but I'd have to say it's quite interesting. And then there's the political revolution within the United States, and what is now going to be a Canadian revolution in a big way, just because we have a prime minister in Canada who is very heavily European influenced. Now, this goes hand in hand with what's happening in the United States. And, you know, there used to be a defined separation of church and state within the United States. It's in their Constitution, by the way. But that is quickly being eroded. It already started in Bill Clinton's time. Good president for the United States, actually. And but it already started in his time, where the Christian population within the United States started to be more vocal about their views about who should be leading the country with what religious persuasion. Of course, it actually did start before that, but it was starting to get stronger with President Bill. And of course, Junior. And now with Trump, who I wouldn't say is necessarily open about his faith, but he is in a unique way, has a lot of Catholics within his party, which is fine, which is great. I have no issues with that. But you know why? Do you know why the U.S. is considered a Protestant country? It is to protest. To protest what? To protest the persuasions or the coercion of the Catholic Church. And so I have heard many high-ranking political figures in the past 3 weeks, openly acknowledging their strong Catholic faith, which I have no issues with, absolutely none. But when they bring up things like creating an investigation with the Department of Justice on the downtrodden place of Christianity within the United States. I forget how they called it, but anyways, that's a strong affirmation of where they're going. And they're clearly stating that they want the U.S. to remain Christian. And they acknowledge that the United States is fundamentally a Christian nation. Now, here comes the Constitution. The separation of church and state. Well, as I said earlier, that is eroding quickly. Wow. That is eroding so quickly. Unbelievable. And now we have, in our country, Canada, we have the King of England coming to address the startup of our parliament for this year because of the influence of our Prime Minister, who was the head of the Bank of Canada for a few years, and then the head of the Bank of Britain for a few years. And he made a disaster of both. And a lot of people can't seem to put that together. And now he's our Prime Minister, and I don't get it. But that's okay. But one of the other things that he's trying to initiate is he is going to the Vatican, as if he has to pay homage to the Vatican. I'm thinking to myself, why? What's the purpose? No, we really don't have, how should I say? We have our Constitution, if you want to call it that. We have it written differently as far as the separation of church and state. And I really don't know if it's truly, well, I don't know if anyone is truly separate. But it just amazes me where we're going religiously and politically. And how quickly this is happening. When I moved to rural Nova Scotia, there were certain things that encouraged me, inspired me to move to a rural area. And I sort of predicted that it would take about 10 years for things to unfold. And it looks like I'm reasonably close to my prediction. But how quickly things are going to happen now and how they will coerce people of other faiths, coerce people that have a different view of how we believe in our Creator. It's going to be quite interesting because there's no doubt in my mind that we are going to experience a lot of coercion, a lot of imposition on this issue, which is a personal position. It's a position with you and your Creator. It's not something that can be imposed. You know, as far as moral laws are concerned, I just finished watching someone on YouTube regarding this issue of how she left her evangelical faith. And you know, how do you define evangelical? How do you define fundamentalist? It's that definition has completely changed in the past 30 years, I would say, even in the past 20 years. It's changed quite a bit. But having said that, she was very smart. She understands what's going on, and is why she left the evangelical faith. And not holding anything against my evangelical brothers and sisters. There are many within that persuasion that understand what's going on and don't agree with what's going on. I just wanted to share that with you. I don't want to get too much into detail of the topic, because it's a rich topic. What's happening right now. And, my brothers and sisters in Catholicism, my brothers and sisters in evangelicalism, my Buddhist, my Buddhist brothers and sisters, my Muslim brothers and sisters. Yeah, you got that right. My Confucius brothers and sisters. Yeah, got that right too. They have a spirit of God within them, even though they don't know Christ in its literal sense, but they know Christ within their minds, within their spirit. They know him. And so this is something that we have to come to terms with as well. And of course, my Jewish brothers and sisters as well, which are very much the foundation of what God tried to bring to the masses, to the world. And of course, that method failed. But, so there's still our brothers and sisters in God, right? And so it's just something that I wanted to express. I'm already going over what Facebook is going to allow. I'll probably have to post this on YouTube. But I just wanted to let you know that things are happening very quickly. And, there's so many people on YouTube that are rambling like I am about these issues. Some are very specific, some are very negative and very defensive. I'm trying to stay away from that, and it is a little bit difficult because I have certain persuasion as well. But I just want to build my persuasion completely out of love and completely out of neutrality. Not pegging one against another. This is not something I want to do. But at the same time, let's talk a little bit more about it if we can. Hopefully I can open up a little bit about it. Something that I'm quite passionate about. And that is what we believe to be the soon coming of Christ. What does it mean to you as an individual? Like to know, let me know. Thanks.